Hey, what's up, fam? I didn't think that Eden Zero would be able to top Fairy Tail this week, and it looks like I was correct. It wasn't a bad chapter. I'm not gonna act like this was a bad chapter. It was just much more of an alright chapter, like a pretty comfy spot, but definitely something that I thought was a really good demonstration of Shiki himself. And what I mean by it, I'll talk more about the end because it was really at the end. There was a lot of, I guess, Nefertiti was more of a large a large spread of possibilities just based on the end. While it was Eden Zero, it was just much more of like a Shiki comment. But I mean, it was pretty clear cut where we got last time. You know, they found Hermit, and Hermit is revealed to hate humans. We don't know exactly why yet, but we'll probably figure that out soon. And Shiki, while thinking back on why this might be, and robots hating humans, he doesn't understand it. And then he just kind of like remembers when he got chased out by everyone on Granville and just starts crying and being all salty. And when they're all just kind of like chilling and talking, there's a like emergency bell going off. They go outside and see like this large monster battalion just like marching towards the town. And I guess it's just like some nighttime raid event, but this one is much bigger than normal. And I like the monsters because they have that same, similar look, obviously in the facial art than Legions from Edalus. I thought that was kind of cool. It'd been a while since we'd seen those faces, and it seems that all these guys are working for Jamilov, and the whole thing I pretty much took over this whole thing where they just talked about coming in and taking over the town and killing all the NPCs, and pretty much just they're gonna wait at that point until Jamilov comes back and kills all them, and they all were pretty happy about the idea of being killed off by him. And I'm guessing a lot of people would probably think it of more of like, that's pretty crazy. These guys just they live just to get killed by the guy to so he gets XP in this world. And I'm more thinking of overall that is who he knows that gives him this special spot in the game. I'm thinking maybe it's Draken Joe, and maybe Draken Joe is the person who made the game, and I believe that might have something to do with his title. What was it, the Alchemist of Darkness or something? And I'm guessing it's not really going to be like alchemy, like old fashioned kind. It's going to be more of like maybe like a science, like future kind of idea of alchemy, and maybe it's because of like instead of like combining ingredients to make potion stuff, he's combining like programs and data to make like NPCs or programming, and that's what kind of led up to the all these robots that became sentient or somehow related to that. Maybe he's the one that like maybe he used his that ability and then created created the virus that made all the NPCs self-aware. I don't know. That's just a theory, and it's definitely amongst all this that I'm most curious about. Like, is just to know who he has like contacts with that has that kind of pull or a potential like hacking level ability, and it's like insight on tech that he's able to make it so he can break all these rules and be perfectly fine. And he has like these characters in Digitalis that pretty much seem to have like this worshiping idea of him. But I really like the part where Shiki goes and he grabs one of the big monsters by the horn and just starts swinging around and knocking a bunch of them all over the place. It wasn't like a crazy kind of a thing to do, like in terms of like a crazy big attack or some big grand show. I just thought it was like a really cool moment just to see him swing that big monster around, thanks to his anti gravity. But I just thought it was a pretty interesting moment. But I actually really liked that. Like right after he did it, he's just like, "All right, I got something else to do." And a lot of the people there seem a little bit kind of screwed because Homura goes off and and Wise can't use his ether gear, and Pino can't use her EMP ability. So it's really just Rebecca at this point. She's got her happy guns and she's ready to go to town. And I'm wondering what exactly they're gonna do in order to really be useful in this for all these guys who can't use their powers at all, and it doesn't look like they got any in-game weapons or abilities. But it just peers over to Jesse and Himura talking, and I guess she just doesn't really seem to have any actual care for the Eden Zero crew, and they've all pretty much done their part of what she's planning. And I don't know, I'm starting to wonder if her plan is evil, or if maybe if you think about it, because Jesse is in the he's in the crew with Elsie, that's, what exactly is he doing? Because maybe they're actually part of a separate group, and that's something that I'm starting to wonder exactly. Like maybe she's not, a double agent for Elsie, but in reality, they both are double agents for someone else. Maybe they work for one of the members of the Oracion says Galactica. That could definitely be a really interesting twist. Now, following that is really what I wanted to talk about for this chapter, is when Hermit is just like, okay, those guys are coming for me. I guess this is how I'll die. And Shiki comes down, swoops in, and grabs her, and like using his cool anti gravity manipulation style flight. And it's about that I what I think is really funny about him is how aggressive he is in friendship recruiting. Like once he decides somebody's gonna be his friend, like he's like, all right, no game plan. We gotta figure this out. I gotta figure this out. And then he's just like, he doesn't take no for an answer. He sees it as like an obstacle, and then he's like, all right. I think it kind of plays in with his whole the way he fights in comparison to someone like Natsu or Haru. Is Shiki is very mobile, and he is his style seems to be more of like looking at a situation from every angle, versus like Haru's variety, and Natsu is like straight up onslaught and like, durability, stamina, just go at it and keep hitting it until it breaks. And Shiki is much more, like I said, of trying to approach it from different angles. And he kind of sees, I think he kind of saw that here, is now now he's got this chance to get Hermit, on their good side now. But at the same time, obviously, he wants to help her. But I don't think that he won't use this as a means to get on her good side, recruit her back into Eden Zero and add another one to the friendship roster. I don't know. I like that aspect about Shiki. I really like his aggression for friendship. He's just it's all around. Like he decides that you're gonna be his buddy. He's just hell bent on making you his buddy with that big happy guy smile. But like I said, the chapter wasn't like that exciting. It was much more of just like, well, that was a fun little bit leading, between the last chapter when you got to see, like last chapter, I was very happy that Jamilov wasn't like some two chapter bad guy fodder. Like he actually seems pretty strong. Maybe I'm guessing he's gonna be the boss for this arc, and it's not gonna be like he just comes back, we beat him, and it turns out there's somebody better that he's been answering to within Digitalis. And I don't know. I just think that I thought that was cool about him. This one was much more of just like Shiki saving Hermit, and then like in the middle of it, he's just like, "Hello, um, I hope you're not mad at me, but I figured you were in danger and I came to help you. So hopefully we can be friends now." And so we'll figure out how exactly she responds to this next chapter with the what is it, chapter 35, titled "The Beast and the Girl." So we'll figure that out. We'll probably get spoilers sometime this weekend, but I think it will be leading up to a much more interesting chapter. I'm much more interested, like right now, in what exactly Jamil Love's doing and what he's going to talk to Drac and Joe about. But you tell me in the comments below on what you think is going to happen, what you want to see happen. Definitely really interesting. Digitalis, we don't know the full extent of this world. I think it's going to be really weird when we, jumping into this fantasy style like themed game, like in this digital realm, that coming out of a sci-fi story, and then it's gonna feel a little bit weird when they go back to the back to space sci-fi after people get used to this. Like I said, drop a comment below on what you thought about this. Please, if I can get you to thumbs up the video, befriend the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.